do the white flag.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. The white flag signifies that amateur hour is over.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the League of Kyle's Rivals Not Stupid podcast. I'm your permanent, all-time best host guy thing, since I don't know what to call me versus you guys, but I'm the one opening us up this time, even though Mike just did it maybe, I don't know, a minute ago. But he didn't feel like doing it again, so I said, you know what, I'll do it. So I'm joined by Lucho, aka Mr. Mistake Record.
Mr. Mistake.
Yeah,
Man
we'll just leave it
makes
with that.
one
Mr.
mistake
Mistake.
and he's Mr. Mistake.
Well, I mean, last time you did have the virus.
That's not my
protection.
fault. That's the fucking virus thing's fault.
I forgot you were dead during that time. So thankfully
Yeah.
you're back to life and you've joined us. And I'm also joined by, I mentioned him before, Bruce.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? So, I'm already tired of hosting. I'm tired of opening stuff up. So, Mike, I'm just going to hand it right back to you for this.
You know what? I'm kind of tired of hosting.
All
So,
right.
I mean,
Luch, go ahead.
we'll
This
just
is I've been waiting.
we'll
for
just have
everybody.
we'll have
Oh,
the new
Rocco.
host
Oh my
host.
god, new host Rocco.
as usual. I have to actually prop him up so his head is in it this whole time. I had to rewatch it. All I saw for half the time he was here was this. So if I actually hold him up, actually look at my frame and make sure he's here.
Rocco is shocked at how terrible this podcast
That's
is.
exactly what I was thinking.
This is true. Well, he's the host now, but he can't talk, so it's probably for the better.
This will be our last episode because he would just kill it right now.
Maybe it'll make it better. He's
Well, he would make it better for this episode, but we would just be all...
Well, it's the proverbial wacky deli jar of mayo episode where
I
it's just
am the cheese.
it's just
I
just-
am the best character on Wacky Deli. God.
the best character on the
literally staring
show.
at that time watching.
It's too bad that Nick
Pay
doesn't.
no attention.
It's too bad Nick doesn't watch this because that's how he always said that I was playing NHL. I'm the cheese, the best character on the show.
Justice.
Oh my god.
We got a great show for you.
We
What?
do. We gotta somehow be as good as Dennis at moving it along
He's
because
just actively spitting up, trying to put his head.
This is
on.
already disgusting.
the podcast is already unraveling.
Oh, of
All
course
right.
it was doomed from the start. But we got a good show. We'll recap some interesting Week 7 games. Our weekly food question. No fan mail this week. That's disappointing. I mean,
It's a little more than disappointing. But
it's really disappointing. I'm getting laughed at for saying we have no fan mail, as if fan mail is actual fans and not just our asshole friends writing asshole messages.
oh, sorry.
Lisa's gonna pass out because I said fan mail as if we have fans. This is great.
All right, guys, hold on. I have some fan mail.
You just
Okay.
mentioned Alex in a P.O. box.
Oh yeah,
Yes, please.
she's yeah. Did you hear that? She's saying you're just picturing you just opening an empty PO box, disappointed.
Please send all fan mail to P.O. Box 917 in Wappingers Falls, New York. I'll get it eventually.
just the defeated, oh, we have any? Oh,
Everybody in the office is like, "Oh, it's him again." He checks
Don't worry,
every day.
I have some fan mail right
this guy's
here.
had this PO box for 10 years. He never gets anything.
Sorry, here's the fan mail from May 5th, 2012. Clearly, this is for us. Dear Mr. Drew Brees. Hello, I'm a 10-year-old boy from Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm a very big fan of yours. I wanted to write you a letter with my awesome pencil, but my mom said it's better to be typed. I am telling my mom what to type instead. I can't keep going.
Is the twist at the end? This is like Joe Burrow or Mike Thomas or something.
I wish, but it's not. It's actually a 10-year-old boy from Lafayette, Louisiana. Actually, this probably is just a fake fan mail thing because it's on the WikiHow page, how to write fan mail. And clearly this kid is an idiot because I know you are the best quarterback in the NFL.
Well, you know, back in
was the best
2012, he was
who
fresh
was
off a Super Bowl.
2012?
I mean, Peyton Manning still?
Yeah, in 2012.
Was 2012 the year that they had that crazy season? The Broncos?
Let's see. We got the 2012 Super Bowl. It was the Giants beating the Patriots.
Oh, well, I knew that, but the oh, yeah, wait. The crazy season had the Broncos were in the Super Bowl. Okay. Anyway, that was great fan mail. I feel fan. Rocco's having a conniption about it.
All right, let's get this moving.
Let's go to the recap.
Yeah,
Not
so,
Stupid Podcast, Game of the Week. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to step all over your brain.
No. It's all good.
The Not Stupid Podcast Game of the Week. Lex Lexington, 184.52, beats me, 88.72.
Oof.
I won by like almost 100 points. How
Listen,
is this the game of the week?
well, because we thought it was going to be.
I knew it shouldn't. I think I called this out saying it shouldn't be the game of the week last week.
I put it as it was a prime. This is my decision. No consulting the other co-hosts. My logic was, but perhaps a playoff position game that means a lot. Almost a loser leaves town-esque, even though you're still only one game back.
And he's still in town.
Right.
I don't know. After this performance, I might have to wear a bag.
Luch, you weren't even here to agree with me that this shouldn't have been the game of the week last week. You already died by that point.
It was tough to choose last week. It was like a lot of matchups on paper. But
anyway, do we have the recap for these up?
Oh,
I can.
no, I'm not prepared this time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to fantasy.
Dennis isn't
recaps.
here, and no one.
Let's
knows
go
what
to
the-
reports and then franchise and fantasy recaps.
Yes, here we go. Okay, so Mike, you can handle this one since
Yeah.
me and Luch don't have anything
So let's see.
to say about ourselves. That's what I was trying to say.
Hey, good news with their 184.52 points, 456. Fuck Mike Kane is now the proud record holder of the 7th highest weekly point total in league history.
Wow.
I
Proud record holder.
guess let's start with Lucho.
All right,
Let's
good
just say-
good talk.
let's
Good
just
talk.
say-
Let's go move on to Alex now.
Let's just say what is the biggest disappointment?
That I didn't take my team
I
out
mean-
behind the shed and shoot it after this.
It's
Did you forget to
The
set?
biggest disappointment is I didn't have a bottle of fucking sleeping pills next to me.
there's a lot of disappointments.
I would say the biggest
Lucho
disappointment.
forgetting to set his lineup before Thursday Night Football.
No, I did, and I didn't click fucking submit. I was doing it while I set up before we record, and I forgot
Fortunately,
to
it
click
didn't matter.
submit. I told you last night how the only reason I knew I fucked up was I got the preliminary results email and Carson Wentz wasn't in my starting lineup, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Oof. I mean, but it's got to be Cam. I mean, that was brutal.
That was rough.
Like-
Getting benched for Jarrett Stidham.
Does he? I mean, I'm assuming they just run him back out there again. I mean,
You
here
have
we
to.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Belichick said he's definitely
Right.
still. It was
but,
just a
I mean,
one-game
does
wake-up
he-
call thing.
Does he bounce
Speaking of
back?
that, we got a
Does
wake-up
he-
call, should Dynasty coach Lucho Leone said. Just like Bill Belichick.
We're on. I don't even know who the fuck you play. If it said like we're on to whatever week 8.
But yes, biggest disappointment, I agree. It's Cam. There's a couple others on here.
Right, but
Um,
I mean, negative though.
Yeah,
You could say
Dalton, you
say
weren't
Evans
starting, so it's
again.
okay. But Evans, yeah, that's where I wanted to get to. It was
Evans is
just
kind of rough, yeah. Evans,
Uh,
I was super
just-
super waffling between whether I should start him or not that night.
Is
well,
it the chemistry with like what is it just?
I mean, clearly the chemistry is off if Gronk is catching Evans' passes, according to Peyton Manning.
Oh, that's
have
right.
have you
Yeah.
seen that video?
The detail, yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically him busting his balls, but it's. I mean, at this point now, we're past week 7. Like Mike Evans is one that's most talented wide receivers. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like I feel like Tom Brady would have begged for a Mike Evans the last couple of years in New
Yeah, but
England.
the thing is, he has a Mike Evans, and he has a Chris Godwin, and he has a Scotty Miller, who
He
I
doesn't
think
know.
Scotty Miller's not close to that talent, but he's got a rapport with him. And he's just got so many weapons out there.
Yeah, he's
But
got
like,
a Gronk
And
and a
he's got
Fournette
Gronk,
now.
Tyler
like
Johnson.
even like I was gonna say like Tyler Johnson's been better for fantasy.
Don't forget about that Hudson guy. That's the tight end.
Oh my God.
Cam Brate is here.
Yeah, the classic inline white tight end, the Brady special. I will say, I would honestly guess that 59.8% efficiency will be the worst efficiency rating of the year.
59.8. Where do you see that, by the way?
On the weekly results.
Oh, where it says who you should have played instead of
Yeah, the
Well, you have-
potential
yeah.
points versus the starter total efficiency ranking.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jeez.
I will say that is at least a vote of confidence in my team, and just proof that, once again, I don't know how to pick a lineup.
Yes, and like I always say, what Phil brings up, bad coaching.
Bad coaching. I need to fire my coach.
Well,
Oh, no.
it says you got to change your coach name because it's you. Just assign the coach
No,
as somebody else.
the problem is that's my that was me before I died.
Who have you always wanted to fire? Jerry Jones? Make him your coach and
No, I
then
want
fire.
to fucking kill Jerry Jones. I would want to fire. I'd fire Jason Garrett
Again.
He barely got fired last time. Okay, bye now.
He
Enjoy
got
your
like,
new
yeah,
job.
well, it's
No,
been
you know what I
enough
want to fire?
time.
I'll fire Greg Williams.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Onward to Lex Lexington.
Yeah, onto Alex's team. I mean, I feel like when everyone's in double digits, it's hard to name a disappointment. Honestly,
there's a clear disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, either quarterback. I mean,
QB room, Mahomes probably
It's-
more so, but at least he has an excuse.
Roethlisberger isn't really that much of a disappointment.
against the Titans, it's not insane. But I mean, Mahomes to have 12 in a blowout. I mean, he was in the game for most of it, but
It was a snowstorm.
It was a blizzard.
I
Yeah.
get it.
And now
And-
they have
yeah,
two running backs that they can kind of
Yeah.
let ride. He's
What
lucky
about
to
Darryl?
even have one touchdown.
So you mentioned 2 running backs. I think you forgot about Le'Veon Bell. That would be 3 running backs.
Am I forgetting?
But saying Darrell Williams is better.
Oh.
I'd say biggest, just kind of moving along. I'd say biggest surprise. I mean, AJ Brown just based on the point total, but I mean,
Yeah, look at that nice picture of AJ Brown right there. I wish he had the Dolce and Gabbana glasses in that
The
picture instead
fucking
of this one.
swaggy B picture.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I had to look
Huh?
closely at that to see who that was. I definitely thought that was.
I think the biggest surprise there is probably, I would say, Deontay Johnson, honestly.
29. Just the fact that he made it past the first quarter.
The fact that he blew, well, yeah, but the fact that he blew up, like, you know that he has the potential to do that. He's probably the most talented wide receiver on that team, but just
Yeah,
with
well,
the with the
when you're
emergence of other
getting-
targets.
When you're getting 15 targets a game, it's pretty easy to
Yeah.
eventually hit that. You know, like the 3 games that he's played the majority of, he has 10, 13, and 15 targets.
Does
So,
this kind of I mean, we're kind of like maybe moving ahead of it, but does it kind of cool off Chase Claypool a little bit with
Oh, for
Deontay
sure.
Johnson back? Because I mean, I feel like
I think
like-
a lot of us were expecting that anyway, though. Anyone that was
Yeah.
kind of paying close attention because, for example, Phil played Claypool the past 2 weeks and then he benched him this week when
which
Deontay
smart
was
move.
back. So
Smart, yeah.
I think as long as you were paying attention, you kind of knew that
Right.
Claypool was
But
taking
that's
advantage of.
that's a smart fantasy football move. Like everyone bitches on Twitter, but like they have no clue. It's like, well, look at the lineup. Like Claypool wasn't magically going to get as many touches again with now the guy ahead of him healthy, as talented as he is.
What's funny, me and Phil were just looking at this today, though, is whenever Deontay Johnson is playing, Juju has better games.
Well, it was all right. It showed because Juju had double. I think Juju had double digits for what? Maybe the second time this year only.
Interesting.
But I don't know. I mean, listen. Sometimes you play what you play. I mean, I showed Alex my horseshit Yahoo lineup I have to throw out this week. It's bad.
Oh, speaking of Yahoo, I'd like to congratulate myself on a hard-earned victory over Mike.
I thought we were over jerking ourselves off on here.
I had to do it. I beat Mike in the redraft league.
Thanks to Tyler Lockett.
Yep. I made a clutch trade of James Robinson for Tyler Lockett, and James Robinson had a great game himself, but I wouldn't have won the match without Tyler Lockett. So,
speaking of Tyler Lockett, can we go to skip a couple of these matchups and go straight to Hawk?
Yes,
sure.
Denny
I would say
Cashman?
the
Luch
big upset. Yeah, go for it.
Luch will let you handle that.
Yeah. So you have just an absolute explosion from Tyler Lockett propelling Alex's team. He would have beaten Dennis anyway if you gave him, if you took 40 of those points off.
Right, like an average game.
Gave him, a pretty average Tyler Lockett game.
Not only did Tyler Lockett get the 58 points, but it meant that DK Metcalf wasn't getting much work at all, which was like a double.
His biggest highlight was tackling Budda Baker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, in fairness to him, that's going to go around the internet forever.
Oh, it was impressive as hell.
But you have not just that, but you have Alex gets Nelson Aguilar is super involved in the Raiders offense.
That was ridiculous.
Baker Mayfield came on, which that game
after Beckham left.
Yeah, that game definitely showed me. I think Stefanski is legitimately a good coach and not a flash in the pan.
Yep.
Because he knew exactly how to adjust to Baker's strengths and really mold the game plan for him.
Yeah, when you don't have Beckham there begging for targets.
Yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, Rob Gronkowski getting 17 points is pretty good too. Because
I think that I guess knew? I mean I figure I knew Gronk would be. Well, I didn't think Gronk would have a great year, but I think once OJ Howard went down, it was like, all right, well, someone's got to get the tight end work.
I really honestly thought it would be more split between him and Brait more. And I thought there wouldn't be enough targets to go around for everybody. Oh, wait, there aren't, Mike Evans. Meanwhile, Dennis.
He was a victim of Kyle Shanahan being a dick.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the snowstorm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Tyreek
could. I mean, Kelsey's probably the most disappointing. I mean, you could say Metcalf, but it's just like look how the game went.
The logic behind most disappointing for my team, I think, has to apply here too. Is Jerick McKinnon with negative points?
Yep.
That's the biggest disappointment.
Well, I mean, Shanahan says that Jerick was just resting in week 7, and this was the plan,
dude.
Yeah, this was the plan the whole time.
Sure it was.
Kyle Shanahan is he's gonna seal him in carbonite and put him in a glass case. He loves Jerick McKinnon that much.
I mean, I think this is one where I know Dennis was annoyed, but it's one of those where if you're losing like this, I could see being pissed at Metcalf having 4.3 on Sunday night, but it's almost one of those where you don't. I mean, granted, Lockett got the work, but you almost don't want him to have a good game. I'd rather lose by 70 than 3 or something.
And get a couple of those variance bad games.
Right, because like you said, even if you throw an average game at Lockett and Metcalf blows up, you don't want that 50-point game from somebody and lose.
Yeah.
So it's almost better. A loss is a loss.
Well, I mean, if Lockett had an average game and Metcalf blew up, he probably would have won. But
if you give Lockett 10, that puts him at 152. I guess you could argue with swings, but at this point,
it's also you mean 140 something, right?
142.
Minus 4, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, 5-2.
Yeah, I agree. With
you're 2 games ahead. You're in great shape. Everyone, you're not going undefeated in this league or whatever.
This hurts.
Everyone just had.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was just kind of you're not going to get. you're not going undefeated. It's just you have these weeks where it's like, God damn, man, what can I do?
Yeah, and it hurts. It's a great win, but it hurts Alex too.
Yeah, well,
I think
Alex,
any shot, yeah.
I
Any
was
shot
talking to Alex this week, and he basically was saying that he's come to terms that he's not going to get a top 2 pick.
Yeah.
So now it's just really focusing, like what he's going to do for the rest of the year is just focusing on building for 2021 the best he can, and whatever consequences that has on this year is whatever. If he makes the playoffs this year because of what he's doing, whatever. But he's
well, look, 3-4 is in a playoff spot right now, and that's where he sits.
Anyway, good job, Hawk.
Yeah,
Let's
big
move
win.
on to let's
Yeah, where do
do
you wanna go
Bruce's
now?
because we kind of skipped over Bruce's game.
Sure, I'll handle this one. So Bruce snuck away with a victory against Anthony,
God.
almost as many wins as teams that are competing. Liscauzo Jr. Jr. II.
Jesus.
Bruce won 130.56 to 124.32. I'm sure you were sweating that one out a little bit there.
Well, so my big thing was that like for the end of those 1:00 games, I was like, all right, I got past this, and then like back to back, Gio Bernard had a touchdown, and then that stupid T.J. Hawkinson touchdown that Detroit should have
That
had no
game
business
winner,
having.
yeah.
And the LaMichael Pirine touchdown.
Right? Yeah, it was just like all these guys, and then really like Anthony should have won on a day where the Chargers scored 39 points. Mike Williams has 1.4 fantasy points.
Yep. So
Like
that was
that was pretty amazing.
I was gonna say that's the biggest disappointment on his team for a game being so
Yeah.
well. It definitely cost him the win. Also, but
Yeah.
just to speak on you sweating this one out, that Seattle game with just Lockett going off and all these big plays happening. That's what David Moore has done this year, just randomly have a long touchdown. So it could have came at any moment, including the end of the game where they went to OT, right?
Yep.
For that game. So it's like just one touchdown.
Right.
And
It was one of those like here like it was like overtime. Like I'm like, oh god damn it, like I had bet the over in that game. So once that hit, I was like, all right, just end this game.
Yeah, so all right, let me get back to that. Mike Williams, like I said, and we all mentioned, is the biggest disappointment on Anthony's team. I would say biggest surprise for his team.
Ryan, because Bernard, you can
Bernard,
expect it.
you knew what was coming because he was really the only guy getting any
and
work.
good, and I'll say good on Anthony for like updating his roster because he had Zach Moss in there, like but like and then like the day before, I think he switched it. Like once Mixon was out, he did like pay attention enough and was aware enough to go, all right, well, Gio Bernard then.
Yep. I would say, honestly, the biggest surprise, I would say, is Juju. I mean, we all know he's very capable of being one of the best wide receivers in the league. But to finally have a game where he got 14 targets in it, and that's
Right.
when everyone is healthy and playing. So he didn't score a touchdown, so that was really the big difference between him and Deontay Johnson's day. Deontay Johnson had 2 touchdowns. So if you go back to week 1, Juju was the one with 2 touchdowns. So
Right.
it's just nice to have a game where he does something. For
Right.
once instead of-
And the guy that when he traded number 2 overall last year, that was the big part of his return.
Yep.
So you want to see a guy like that really starting to pay off for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to move on to your team, Mike, biggest surprise. I don't even know how much I can call it a surprise anymore, but Justin Herbert having a 40-point game. He continues to be dominating in his rookie year.
Anytime a higher up team like I've said it before. I had obviously no intentions of him ever starting a game in the NFL, let alone in my fantasy lineup. But here we are. So, a big win. I feel like
His face that he froze on. Like the face you froze on for a second there, Mike, was
Pretty
no.
pretty funny.
priceless.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, I think anytime a top team, if you can get a weekly starter from your draft pick right away, I mean that's such a huge win. So I'm thrilled that Herbert's just not even just starting, but he's like exceeding all expectations so far. And a 40, I know it's against Jacksonville, but 40-point fantasy game is something else. And he led the Chargers in rushing, which I'm sure pissed off the Justin Jackson, Josh Kelly.
It also pissed off Anthony Lynn. So 'cause Anthony Lynn came out and said, "Yeah, we really don't want him running this much."
Oh,
Which I
okay.
mean, for fantasy,
Which
it's great
that's
for fantasy,
totally
but
understandable. Yeah.
he doesn't need to run. You know,
He doesn't need to run, but what the fuck? I mean, I know some of the plays were like designed, but like, all right, what are you going to teach him? Go down? Like, It's fucking glorified running backs coach. Get him out of there.
And then also most disappointing. There's a couple on your team. I would just make a big combo of Zeke and Jacobs basically as the most
Well,
disappointing.
I think Zeke was just. I mean, like I have my thoughts, but I think Jacobs was more that how that game went. They were down I think wire to wire or almost.
That
So
makes
it
sense.
was just there was never gonna like I don't think there was a and like Tampa's not easy like and I think I contemplated only playing 2 running backs, but then once Aaron Jones was out, I kind of what are my options at that point?
Yeah, I mean Jacobs only had a 1.7 yards per carry in this game, so
Yeah.
that was the
It's-
big.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Luke.
Go ahead. I was gonna say it's. I wanted to look and see how many targets he had. 4 targets. I mean, that's fine. But if you're down, I don't know.
Who their coaches?
Yeah, that's the thing is like he was getting good target
So
numbers
frustrating.
earlier in the year too, and it's just they've
Well,
stopped.
I mean,
Gruden's so frustrating.
it was just
like,
it
the
was
most
just week
talented
1.
player.
His
The most
targets are
talented doesn't happen.
his targets are 6'3", 4'4", 3'4". So it's just week 1 where he got the 6. and
Like,
then-
it's not even me bitching about my own player. This happens. It happens all around the league. Like, I understand running backs. You want them fresh. Like, you have maybe better pass catchers on the team, but like he shows that okay, when he does catch a pass, he can make something happen. I don't understand why you don't want to use your best player in more situations to have the team succeed. It's like it just seems silly sometimes,
Yeah.
but whatever it is what it is.
And then also just really quick on Zeke, that whole team being so bad is definitely hurting his opportunity to be one of the better running backs.
And then like what are teams going to do? You're down to your whatever string quarterback, so you're just going to stack the box and make the shitty quarterback win the
Nah.
game. Like
Not even the third string quarterback, the whatever string quarterback, Ben DiNucci.
I don't understand why we have such slander here on the Nooch.
Hammer Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best
correct.
Italian quarterback in the league, Ben DiNucci.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We have Nick with 125.5 beating Kyle with 117.58. This was another one that went into Monday night.
I feel bad for Kyle, man. I like see that CeeDee Lamb game. If CeeDee Lamb does anything, Kyle wins.
Yeah, Bruce. So since you're already talking about it, go ahead. Give your your biggest surprise and your biggest disappointment in this.
I mean, obviously we'll start with Kyle. I think I just said it. I mean, CeeDee Lamb point one. That's incredible.
When
How
you
did he
can't,
get?
you're not
How did he
passing
get this point one?
effectively, then what's
Oh, he had
what are you gonna do?
one rushing yard.
Yep.
Wow.
That's like to not have.
He had
He's like too talented. Like he's too
5
talented.
targets, but what are
You think
these
he'd like make a catch like by accident? Like somebody like that. It's just you feel bad. And then I mean James Washington with 0 is not insane, just because I think he's just down the depth chart at this point. But yeah, man, CeeDee Lamb is rough. I'd say biggest surprise. I could lean Joe Burrow, but I gotta say AJ Green. This is his first. He was on Kyle's trade block for probably a relatively low price. I gotta think he's a hold now.
Well, he was looking for a third at one point. Then he might have changed it a little bit. But
Well,
the past,
I offered him a third, and he said that he was keeping him for another week because I guess he had a bunch of bye weeks.
well, last week it's because last week he had the 17.6 fantasy point game, so he keep him
Right.
another week, see what happens, and he
Right.
did it
And
again.
well, and he said right. I asked him again this week about it, and he said, well, he's with CeeDee Lamb being questionable with Dallas's crappy quarterbacks, but AJ Green. I mean that's the biggest surprise for me. I would say. I guess take a look over at Nick's team. I don't really know. Biggest surprise. I mean, biggest disappointment. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Alex?
Biggest disappointment probably. I want to say Jimmy G, but he was playing the Patriots, so I don't know what you can expect.
They ran all game.
He doesn't really have a disappointment, to be honest. This is just like a normal, solid week. Like, what can you expect from a Cameron Brate that he's
Right.
putting in there? Jerry Jeudy, you can't really expect much from him. A rookie on an offense that's not playing that well, playing the Super Bowl champions. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't really even give him a disappointment. I wouldn't even really give him a surprise either. It's really
I
just
know. I mean,
it's just a very even
Wait,
keel line.
hold on. How long was that? Oh, no, I guess it would have only been -6 if Gurley didn't score that touchdown, but I guess he still would have won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barely.
Like if he goes down at the 1. I was thinking if you took away the yardage he ran, but wow. All right, but all right. So if Kyle lost by less than 6, then that Atlanta game's just keep adding it to the list
Yeah.
of things that it just screwed.
Well, you know what it was like for me. I lost a parlay because of the loss of the Cowboys that they had earlier in the year.
Which,
I lost a parlay because of that stupid game.
All right, well,
I
on
don't
to
do
the
parlays.
On to the next game.
Smart man.
We'll talk about the Joey matchup. This is the one that really should have been the game of the week here. Joey with 167.04 points beats Tom with 148.66.
Man.
Skylar,
I'll handle this one here. So if I can find it on here. Yeah, here we go. So Joey's team just putting up another good week. He had one disappointing player on his team. Well, almost two, but one really disappointing player on his team was Mike Davis. After him dominating, he finally has an off game here. And sounds like Christian McCaffrey has a chance of playing on Thursday. But
that's so soon though. I doubt it.
Yeah, but even if he does play, I don't know how comfortable you could be with him in the lineup. I'm sure they'll try to ease him in for a Thursday, but he'll definitely be back the following week. So the Mike Davis's time might be up. Fortunately, Joey has Christian McCaffrey, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
And then the other disappointing player I was just going to speak on was Ronald Jones. It was more just the stat line, 10.6 points for fantasy, that's fine. But when you watch the game, Fournette was much, much more involved.
Yes.
And it looks like they mentioned that he took LaShawn McCoy's role, but he definitely had more work than what LaShawn McCoy was getting. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. Yeah. And then on Tom's team, biggest surprise, as much of a surprise you want to say, but 46.6 points by Devontae Adams. I think it was career high in yardage for him in that game. And then biggest disappointment, it's Devonta Freeman got hurt. I wouldn't
Singletary, man. He's just I don't think he's good.
I was just going to mention Singletary too. I think it's even more of a disappointment for him specifically because he traded for him.
Yeah.
I think the biggest disappointment isn't who he did start, but who he didn't start, because he didn't start Jeff Wilson.
True, but
I think you make a decent argument to yourself to start him over Freeman, honestly, this week.
Maybe it's just I don't know, man. We can sit here and say it all we want, but Freeman. Yeah, probably.
Freeman looked okay, but their offensive line is terrible, and the only thing Philly defends is the run.
The other thing, though, is that, we just saw a week where Jeff Wilson, he just came back from injury, and we saw McKinnon getting work ahead of him earlier in the year. It's just all those 49ers running backs, unless it's Mostert, you have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, Mostert's Mostert's the only comfortable startable one.
It's funny. It's not even that Mostert get tons of work. It's just Mostert is so efficient with everything. He'll break away on at least one run throughout the game and get you solid points.
But then if you need that upside, why wouldn't you roll the dice on that instead of going with
it's true.
the most vanilla option?
I'm not sure how much he thought he needed so much. Obviously Joey's a hard team to beat, but I think Tom felt pretty comfortable with his team right now because he was getting a bunch of guys back. He got Adams was already back, but Adams, Godwin, Fant are all back in his lineup. Matt Ryan just came off a good game. I think Devonta Freeman seemed like a good, solid option just because, it was the Eagles. The Eagles aren't the greatest team going to go against. Right. So
that makes sense. It's just a tough one, man. Tom's had. I'm trying to think of who's had just brutal luck this year. Tom's definitely.
Oh, Lucho.
Oh yeah. But Tom's up there in terms of just. I feel like he hasn't caught a break.
He did against me. Stupid Cardinals don't know how to. The one Chase Edmonds gets 15 points, 20 points, has a week of 3 points, and then goes back to 21 points. So of course that 1 week with 3, I started him against Tom, and it was the difference maker. So and also Hopkins only getting 7 in that game. But whatever, that's last week. Let's just move on.
By the way, Anthony Izzawini beat a mediocre 3-4 Skyler, his brother Bilo, by silencing a partisan crowd of 68,000 987 at Skyler should never day trade because he would lose all his money stadium.
Oh boy. Oh, Rocco doesn't like that one.
Rocco was pretty pissed off about that.
This microphone's too good. It picks up too much.
I like this. Joey's quote from this. I'm in a state of shock. Anthony is a Whedon coach, Joey Doyen said.
How do you feel about the win?
Oh,
sure.
And then Skyler's brother Belo coach, Tom Papadopoulos, said, they own us. Oh boy. All right, let's move on to the final game of our week. It's also just so happens to be our Bins game of the week, presented by Anthony Lascauzo Jr. Jr. II. I wouldn't throw Fournette in there this week. I can't do that this week. So we might need to pick a different Bins player this week. Maybe I'll for Tom, I think I'll make the Bins player Josh Jacobs for this one.
Why not single Terry?
No, I can't do it. Tom wanted me to bring up one of Mike's players to be a Bins player.
That's fine because you're not wrong.
But Phil won 125.94 over Skyler with 103.58. We did get this correct. I think we've been forgetting to mention what we got correct and what we didn't. The only two we got wrong were Hochberg beating Dennis and Nick beating Kyle. But this one seemed pretty easy. Phil wanted to note that he thought he was going to lose to Skyler, and he called it out earlier in the week so that he'd be prepared. But I guess he was wrong with this one. He does have one of the scariest starting lineups of all time, and it just got worse with Odell Beckham tearing his ACL. So
yeah. He's got we'll get to it, but he's got a rough go coming up. But
yeah, so with Phil's team, I mean, biggest disappointment. I mean, Beckham got hurt, Drake got hurt, Hunter Henry. Maybe
I would say Henry because Virgil Green and Donald Parham both had touchdowns.
It's exactly the same as what you were speaking on with Mike Williams. How when they score 39 points and just these backup tight ends are scoring touchdowns and getting more points.
XFL legend Donald Parham.
It's just a little unlucky because Hunter Henry definitely had more snaps than all of those guys.
Yeah.
Biggest surprise on Phil's team, honestly, I would say it's Drew Brees getting 23.68 points in this game. Just to have a solid game from Drew Brees here. 287 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Really acquired Drew Brees.
And 3 rushing attempts.
That's insane.
With a touchdown.
Christ.
So he did have one of those classic reach over the goal line.
Yeah. Those are the best for fantasy.
And then for Skyler's team, biggest disappointment. I mean, I gotta say,
Daniel Jones tripping at the 20, costing him like
that was a lot.
At least eight points or something.
8 plus.
Do we do bonus, right?
We do. So that would have been like a 70 or 80 yard. It was it would have been an 80-yard touchdown.
He still got the bonus for the run, right?
For the run, yes, but
so figure he was down at the 8. So he lost out on 6.8. Wouldn't have made a difference, but
no, he doesn't. You don't get bonuses for just long runs. They have to be touchdowns.
I thought it was touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
I thought so he missed out.
For long runs.
I think it would have been an 8-point touchdown for that.
Right.
And
so he
another 10 yards rushing, so 9 points there.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a difference, but it would have looked a little better, I suppose.
Yeah. Who got the touchdown on that one? Do we remember?
I don't
remember if they rushed it in or if he threw
Gallman or some I don't know.
Yeah. So, but biggest disappointment, I think it's got to be Darius Slayton. It seems like he's just, the Giants aren't able to throw downfield, and he's just. Shepard's
back. I mean, Ingram with his bad hands is at least getting more work.
Yeah, it's just Darius Slayton's become such a boom bust player now. It seems like so. Unfortunately, this is one of the games that he didn't go off on, but you got to keep him in your lineup for these boom games too.
Biggest surprise, probably Cole Beasley. Just the way that worked, 11 catches for 112.
Without John Brown there, makes a difference. Yep.
It does. Yep. It does. And on a day, to have 24 fantasy points on a day where the Bills didn't score a touchdown, pretty impressive. But Skyler goes to 0-7, but sadly, he's not.
Sadly, he doesn't care. He doesn't have his own pick. Sadly for Joey.
That's true. I always forget all these picks are getting traded around.
Exactly. So I'll read off the current standings here. Number 1, we have Bruce at 6-1 with a power ranking of number 1. Number 2, we have Joey at 6-1 with a power ranking of number 3. Number 3, Dennis at 5-2, a power ranking of number 2. Number 4, Dennis. Number 4,
Whoa.
also Dennis.
Oh, wow.
Holy
Number 4,
shit.
Nick 5-2 with a power ranking of number 6. Number 5, Phil at 5-2 with a power ranking of number 4. Number 6, me at 3-4, somehow at number 6 with 3 and 4, with a power ranking of number 5. And then starting with the potential points order, we'll go from the bottom up on this. So it would be the draft order. No, number 1 pick as of right now would be Anthony, almost as many wins as teams competing. Lascauzo Jr., the second JR, at 1-6 and a power ranking of number 12. The number 2 pick as of right now would be Skylar's team at 0-7 and a power ranking of number 11. However, Joey does own that pick. The 3rd pick would be Kyle's team at 3-4 with a power ranking of number 10. However, Tom owns that pick. So I do find it kind of funny that Anthony is fighting off these 2 other teams for this number 1 pick, and those 2 teams don't even have their own picks to help themselves out.
Oh, well.
The number 4 pick would be Alex Hochberg right now at 3-4 with a power ranking of number 9. The number 5 pick would be Tom with a 3-4 record and a power ranking of number 7. However, Anthony also has Tom's pick. And then Lucho would be the last non-playoff team pick at number 6 with a record of 2-5 and a power ranking of number 8. And also that pick is owned by Anthony.
What will he do with them, though? All these picks.
Draft players. Bold strategy, but
Trade them for sandwiches. That's what I would do.
Idea. Well, no wonder why Lucho doesn't have his pick already.
I traded them for that caprese sandwich. All right. That's actually...
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad. I mean, yeah, my team kind of shit the bed. But this is kind of where I was last year, too. And I was able to sneak in at the 5th seed.
Yeah.
So
So listen,
not
it's all about,
terrible.
listen, we've said it. It's all about just make the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, Lucho, you're 1 game out of a playoff spot right
Yeah.
now.
Exactly.
As bad as things have been, like
Things are always darkest before the dawn, gentlemen.
And I will also note that there is a little bit. I know that the 4 and 5 seed right now are both 5-2 with Nick and Phil, but there is some opening there for their teams to disappoint because Phil lost so many players to injury, and Phil actually has a pretty tough schedule remaining. And
Yeah.
Nick also, his team is still underperforming. The last 3 weeks he scored 99, 100, and then 125 is fine, but just overall the
yeah.
average of
think
those 3 weeks is
Even
not trending.
125 is like just barely.
It's not
passes
enough
for how
normally.
we're scoring.
Would
It's
he
not
wait? Would he
enough
have
normally
what
to
were
win.
the scores? Would he have beat Anthony, or would he have like just? No, he would have beat Anthony by like a point.
I will note that Nick's Nick's all play record is only has a 519 win percentage. So there's teams like mine has a 584 win percentage, but I'm 3-4 and he's 5-2. So that kind of stuff tends to regress towards the mean there. So there's might be a little bit
Competition committees
of a change. And Phil's team too has a 519 all play record. So both those 2 teams have a little bit of luck to be 5-2, while my team, and then I would say Tom's team, even though he has a 4.55 all play, he's a little unlucky to be not in a playoff spot right now.
It's all about the schedule. Like,
Yeah.
it's really
And
what
who-
it comes down to. Catch the
who-
right bye weeks, catch the right weak teams. Yeah,
And who
it's-
told everybody that in the off season? Us.
Did we?
Probably.
You just-
I don't
we-
remember that.
you just
We did
woke
how
up-
many hours of content from May to
It's,
August?
yeah, go back and check the episodes and let us know if we put that in there. I'm sure you'll find it. We definitely mentioned it.
Go watch all of them. Make sure we get the views for them. Just check.
Please.
All right.
I think-
All right, let's
Let's
move
get
on.
into the
Let's
meat.
move on to trades.
To the meat.
So,
This
I'll take
this is
this
indeed
just. All right, so we'll just get this first one out of the way. Dennis trades Josh Gordon to Skyler for 40
Now wait a minute.
free agent
Wait a
dollars.
minute. Lucho, how much did you get for trading Josh Gordon to Dennis earlier in the year?
I thought I got like a 4th or something.
Hold on, let me pull this up. We have a
Back.
trade involving Dynasty over the last 250 days. It's somewhere in there. You did trade Josh Gordon for $10 blind bidding dollars back on September 3rd. So nothing has changed with Josh Gordon there. He's still not on a team. There's no extra hype that he's going to come back. I'd say there's even a little less talk about him joining
Because
a team
people
now.
were actually talking about him coming back when I traded him. Now
But
there's
Denny-
nothing.
But Denny Cashman was able to make
Make
$30 blind
$30.
bid dollars by just holding him for a little bit longer. It just another strange Skyler move there.
Well,
But
what-
you know, whatever.
Well, right. Like, what is it? I mean, I guess the potential, but I mean, how many years have we been doing this with Josh Gordon? I mean, at what point? How
I
many
know.
years have you been doing this with Josh Gordon?
Yeah, Lucho was the first one to really be holding on to him in the keeper league, hoping for things. Then he gave up, and I took over that spot at the table.
The
And
heavy is the head that wears the crown.
eventually, I gave up as well. So
I will say that for the keeper league, I grabbed Antonio Brown pretty quick, and I got a text from DJ like an hour later, like, "Oh man, when'd you pick him up? What the hell?" So sometimes.
Yeah, well, I traded Antonio Brown away before all this bullshit
Yeah.
happened. So sometimes
But
might
listen,
be a little bit
it's whatever.
why
It's
there might be like a
40.
tiny percentage of reasoning there for why I made my move that you'll talk about in a second.
Yes, well, I guess I'll just wrap it up. I mean, for Skyler, the free agent dollars don't really mean that much. I mean, the players that should hang on to them are the playoff bound teams, just so you could potentially outbid if there is a guy available. That might make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, there's long-term guys that pop up that you might want to
Of
pick
course,
up.
no, of course, but I think in the grand scheme of it, $40 for Skyler's, it's not insane, and maybe he gets a guy out of it. I don't know, but moving on. So the only other trade from this past week was a big one. Safe trades, DJ Dallas, Boston Scott, a 2020 second round pick that did belong to him.
2022 second-round pick.
What I say, 2020?
Yeah, those already happened.
2022. Oh shit.
You traded
2022
him for your
second round
20. You
pick.
traded him
And,
for Jalen Raker?
And Michael Thomas to Alex Hochberg for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jeff Driscoll, and a 2021 first round pick, which is mine.
Jeff
So-
Driscoll is already a free agent, just in case.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
do.
dropped him and picked up Brett Rippon.
I did.
Hey, whoa! We didn't get to waivers yet. Whoa.
Oh, sorry. A
Whoa.
little teaser for everybody. A little mall teaser of the waivers. We did say last night we have to put a moratorium on calling him MEH because he's on Alex's team now.
Yeah. I mean, he could still be meh. It's okay.
So
Wild.
I'll say, I guess it's a bit of an overpay for me for Michael Thomas, but I guess at the time I didn't understand what Alex was doing. Like, if he's not that good a team, why trade away what might be your potential? Because in terms of value, he's probably one of the most valuable running backs in Dynasty, just because of age, situation, whatever. Maybe the Le'Veon Bell signing scares him, but that just seems so short term to me. And then I don't know. I guess I didn't really understand it. I mean, maybe DJ Dallas is something. Boston Scott's a great handcuff if Sanders is out. But then, yeah, I don't know, to trade CEH and a first, which in this draft could be pretty valuable, even late. But I don't know. I mean, you can take over, Alex. Kind of explain what kind of led you to deal him.
I need to ask before we start, Mike. Why is your camera moving like a spotlight? I'm
What?
just seeing it move to the side and then to the side as
I
you
think
go. Is it just
maybe 'cause
moving
I'm,
of
like,
your-
I'm probably just rotating my chair and maybe it's
Okay.
doing something, or I'm like hitting
I
this
thought I had
stupid,
like a setting on or something that was
no,
like.
this stupid like non-existent desk I have. I'm just using a stupid tray table as a thing for my laptop.
Oh God, it's happening again. Okay.
But I guess I'll wait on Alex. Let me go to Lucho. So your thoughts on this trade before we get Alex's
Okay.
explanation.
I originally was surprised that it wasn't like Thomas for Helaire and a lower pick, or probably like straight up wouldn't have happened, I don't think. But now that I'm looking at it more, I think this is a pretty fair trade, honestly. And I kind of think it might be the right move definitely for Hawk, and definitely for Sapay too, because if he wants to build a little longer out, then Why wouldn't you want to build on a wide receiver rather than a running back, even a young one? I think it's just kind of hedging against the variance that's naturally part of having a running back by having like a really high end wideout instead. I think it's a good move on both sides.
Okay. It did make more sense. I think you're grabbing that maybe potential guy in DJ Dallas, who honestly he might be somebody that we see this week because Seattle has so many injuries at running back.
I really like DJ Dallas. I just wasn't gonna say no to that just because I wanted this deal to go through.
Right, and I think you were definitely in need of running back more than a wide receiver at this point.
Well, I actually wasn't even in need for a running back anymore because of the Kenyon Drake injury, and I now have Chase Edmonds. But it was more I just had 5 wide receivers, and I'd be pissed off every time I benched one of them and they'd go off. So I was like, you know what? Let me cash out on a guy that he's still 27, so he still has plenty of time. But I'll cash out on a guy that's near his peak value. I'm sure his value went down a little bit since the offseason because he hasn't been playing due to injury. But, I mean, there is that 1% chance that he goes down the Antonio Brown trail, and there's weird things happening in New Orleans. And you know what? I just don't like rooting for Michael Thomas to begin with. So, you know, I didn't draft him. I got him in a trade, and it just so happened that it was Michael Thomas. So I didn't really have any attachment to him. So you know what? Let me move to a younger piece that positions me a little nicer for 2021 and also doesn't really make a difference to my team this year. Also picking up the sticking point was really picking up that 2021 first there because I'm so much more into the 2021 class than the 2022. I just really don't care too much about the 2022 class besides maybe the top 5-6 picks at this point. I know there's plenty of time, but it's just when we were coming into 2020 and coming into 2021, we knew there were tons of people. Now 2022, we're like, these guys are okay. So I didn't have a 2021 first or second, so let me get back in that draft, get a piece that helps me quicker as well. So the one thing I do want to know, I mentioned it already before, but with Alex just trying to position his team for 2021 immediately, it's not really a full rebuild because when you look at his team now, he has a wide receiver core of Michael Thomas, Courtland Sutton, Tyler Lockett, and then he has a couple ancillary pieces there too. Alan Lazard, Sammy Watkins. We'll see what those guys turn into. But to have those 3 guys, and then also still it looks like Stafford and Baker aren't going anywhere after this year. So and then he's got some upside tight end guys like Irv Smith if Kyle Rudolph leaves and Dawson Knox in Buffalo as well. So all he really needs is running backs now. Chris Carson can resign, but he still has 2 first-round picks. One of them, as long as he misses the playoffs, will be top 6. You can hammer running backs pretty easily, at least with one of those. Maybe pull another wide receiver if you want to get some more stability. But I like the move for Alex a lot. So
was that your pick? Or wait, he still has 2. What other pick does he have?
He has his own pick and he has Dennis's pick.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
From the Kelsey deal.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I never questioned the value. I think I questioned initially trading
a 21-year-old for a 27-year-old. Yeah, I get that too.
But again, I get it. But we've also said if you're rebuilding, you can work on the running backs later and get your receiver, which it seems like his
team is just. We clearly saw it this week, where I know Tyler Lockett had 58 points, and that's a big reason why. But he still scored, even without the 58 points. He still would have been somewhere near 140, 150 points. So his team, and he's missing Courtland Sutton, so his team's a lot closer than some of these other teams that are not in contention right now. So to make a move like this, it makes sense.
Yep.
Which, a few months, 2 months ago, we thought he was going to burn it to the ground, and now it's fantasy, man. Shit changes in an instant. But so a pretty quiet trade week, but clearly a massive trade in terms of fantasy. Just top guys moving around.
I won't mention any of the trade rumors, but I do know there's a decent amount of trade talks happening within the league right now. So. We'll see if something pops up soon anywhere.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll hear about it next week. Let's get to waivers again. Not a whole lot going on there. The big one this week, Joey gets Marquez Callaway from New Orleans for $46, outbidding.
Isn't it Marquez?
Marquis.
Marquez.
Marquise.
Marquise. It's Marquise. It's decided.
He also, speaking of that,
Holy shit! It's him.
it's the first player to wear number 12 since Colson.
Have they ever been in the same
I love
room?
Colson. I thought he was such a good and underrated player.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he played for New Orleans, so
Wow.
I couldn't
Oh,
love him
yeah.
that much.
So
but
he's a
What are
piece
you
of
gonna
shit.
do?
I used to get him in Madden on the Falcons, and he would be very good for for them.
You know what? Roddy White wasn't good enough.
And Julio Jones, because I think they crossed
Did they?
at that
Oh.
time when I was playing Madden with that. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
$46 though from Joey. Again,
He outbids Alex Hochberg bid 26, Tom bid 5, Sape bid 3.
yeah. Just to continue what I've been saying, this is not an outrageous amount at all. We're at the point of the season where spend your money, you're not going to be able to use it for anything else.
use
So
it or lose it.
yeah, I think Hochberg, he brought this up when we were on the phone about our trade that happened earlier in the week. So I thought he was going to bid a little more than 26, but maybe he thought 26 was a lot to get it done. But it happens. It happens. I also could have had this guy before the game happened. I thought about picking him up because I heard the Emmanuel Sanders not playing. Obviously, Michael Thomas wasn't playing. And there were some rumblings that Callaway was going to be heavily involved in this game. But I just didn't have someone I wanted to drop, unfortunately.
Right. Which is crazy how we've got, 28-man roster. What? And now you're having trouble dropping guys. It's crazy. So Dennis gets Wayne Gallman for $39. No other bids.
I'm a little surprised that there's no other bids.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that Giants line is bad. What's the ceiling for one of these guys?
But for
a touchdown,
teams,
maybe?
For teams, I know there's got to be teams in our league that are still looking for running back help, even if it's not someone you're putting directly in your lineup, just to have a depth piece. I'm surprised that nobody wanted to pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but either way, Dennis full circle with that Jarvis Landry trade. Now it's technically like he got him for free because he got that initial player back, I guess.
That's true. I forgot about that. He traded Gallman for Landry straight up.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, there you go.
Let's see. I added Devontae Booker, whatever.
Devon
$1. Yeah, I know. I did spell.
Devonate.
Yeah, $1, whatever.
Juicy
Okay.
swag legend Devontae Booker.
Whatever. Handcuff for Jacobs. It is what it is, even though it'd probably just be Jalen Richard, but whatever. Phil adds DeMichael Harris from the Colts for $1, and Sape adds, like we mentioned, Brett Rippon and Colin Johnson from Jacksonville, both for $0.
Colin Johnson, D.D. Westbrook tore his ACL.
Yeah,
Might just
no.
get some increased opportunity. Unfortunately, Jalen Reagor, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, he's coming back from injury, and but unfortunately, he'll be off of IR soon, and I'll have to draft a player. So most likely will be Colin Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh wow, good. Thanks for spoiling it.
That's
I
what
mean, if
happens.
you want to
He's
have
gotta-
Colin
he
Johnson,
gets
go
promoted.
ahead.
He gets promoted from the practice squad. He's got to play his way in.
Yep.
So one less
That's
guy
it.
for.
Practice squad.
That's how a good coach runs it.
Thanks.
Yeah, but listen, a pretty quiet week for trades and waivers.
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
They all can't be winners.
for redraft leagues, this is such a huge week for waivers, but they're all
Yeah, it
players
is.
that are already owned in Dynasty, so it just doesn't.
I knew
Yeah,
I was in like deep fantasy football when even the last couple of years, every article I would read about like waiver additions would just be the most like I might as well just X out because these guys are already owned in leagues I'm in. It's just, I don't know, it would get silly.
Well, what's sad is like sometimes I'll even go to look at Dynasty waivers and they're just mostly owned in our league as well. You know, Mike, I know this isn't this league, but in our redraft league, that's actually pretty barren too on the waivers. I
Dude,
noticed,
I mentioned my Yahoo league. I have so many injuries and buys that my starting wide receivers this week, due to Godwin being out and Chark on a bye and Samuel being out, my 3 starting receivers are Cooper Kupp, Greg Ward, and Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Ooh, DPJ.
So that's where I'm at with that. DJ Dallas is my flex right now.
Hopefully Carlos Hyde doesn't play. It sounds like he's going to though.
God,
he's the
fucking
kind
Carlos
of
Hyde.
player that would push through, I think.
It's
He's done that
also
before.
Of course he is.
yeah, and the big thing is they're playing San Francisco, so it's a revenge game for him.
Long-term revenge game.
Mm-hmm. You know what's weird? I had Carlos Hyde in the keeper league, and when I watch him on TV, I just don't even remember him being on San Francisco. I feel like it's not the
Seems like
same.
forever.
I feel like it's not the same player. When I look at him, it's like
Nope.
it just doesn't look like the same player that was on San Francisco. It's so strange.
It's the same thing that it's Ben Tate syndrome. Because the same thing
Yeah.
happened to Ben Tate when he went to Cleveland. They changed him.
It's just I don't know, but
What came back
Look at
was
that.
not a man.
I don't
All
know. I
right.
guess why don't I'll save the other segment, but it's about that time for running on empty food review. It's
All
the
right.
weekly.
Without Dennis, we're just lost with this. We're like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I like food, and
Pretty
That's
much.
it.
I knew Dennis had one last week that he said for us, but we'll save it for when he's back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I did think of one driving home, and we mentioned sandwiches earlier, so I'm pretty much looking for when you're at a deli. It can be just your local like corner deli or a place like I guess what you guys have in
Rossi's.
Poughkeepsie, Rossi's, right?
no, Rossi's is awful now. So,
What?
yep,
What
What
happened?
happened? I've never been. But
they changed their menu. They raised their prices. They got rid of their bread selections. They don't have the same condiments you can put on anymore. It's just
What the fuck?
I was disappointed one time. Thought it might have just been a fluke. Went back and was disappointed again. So it's in Poughkeepsie now. It's a long drive for me to get there. I have no reason to go anymore. So I'm back on the Roma Deli hype train.
Ooh, you enjoy that ride on that train, my friend.
I love it. They're great.
Shout out to Rocco Roma and Goshen, the best that I can find in that area. So I guess what I'm looking for this week. So you go to a deli. What would be your breakfast order? And then I need what would be your cold sandwich order and what's your hot sandwich order?
Okay.
Only because last week we did like a full meal. I felt this week it would be lame to just go, what do you like? Like, what's one thing you like?
All right. So
So I'll start with just whatever. Start with your breakfast order from a deli, whatever you get. So I'll start with you, Al.
sure. I'm going to be the most boring person ever to ruin your segment here, but as a New Yorker, it's obviously a bacon, egg, and cheese. Now, deli versus bagel shop, I would actually rather be the bagel shop because I'm a big fan of getting tons of different kinds of bagels. But over at the bagel shop in Fishkill, they do a fantastic job. So I usually get bacon, egg, and cheese on. I'll switch it up. French toast bagel on everything bagel on, I don't know, just onion bagel sometimes good. There's a bunch of different kinds that I'll just look and see what looks good that day. And then I'm not a ketchup guy. I don't know about you guys on bacon, egg, and cheeses, but I'm just a big salt and pepper by itself. No hot
Okay,
sauce, no
I did-
ketchup, no anything else.
I did raise this question in the group chat because it just bothers me when people like when they go, yeah, salt, pepper, ketchup. Well, you got like if you don't do that, you're an asshole. Like what? No, like I don't know. It was just the whole ketchup on eggs. I don't get it.
I get
Just
it.
doesn't-
I get it
don't
as well.
agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah, I actually don't mind ketchup on scrambled eggs,
hmm
but I still would prefer not to have it on. I don't.
Yeah.
I also just don't like ketchup that much in general, so I feel like I'm a little biased on that. I just don't get ketchup on much of anything, so I can't really give a straight answer on specific types of foods.
Ketchup feels like such a specific niche.
Yeah.
Because there's so in terms of flavor profile.
We should call it niche.
Niche. It feels such a specific niche.
You're right. The niche.
The ni-
All
The
right,
nooch.
I'll go to Lucho with
okay.
your breakfast deli order.
Like Alex said, the longest word in the New Yorker language is bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Gotta be bacon. I disagree though. I would rather go to a deli. Because I like it on a hard roll. I need, if I want like a weird cheese, I can get it there. Because I'm not gonna get anything basic because I'm weird and I hate cheese. Salt and pepper, probably like mozzarella or something on it.
Really, you hate cheese? It's I never noticed that before. I always saw you get extra cheese on your chili at Chili's. So
see,
I
they
thought you're a big fan.
see they think that. You'd think that. But then last time that happened, I died.
No cheese, please. Extra cheese.
Yeah, that's. If I can, I'll get it with a hash brown on it too.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Hmm.
The usual. Most places call it like a bobo now.
Is that
Or-
for real?
I've seen it. I've seen it
Yeah.
in multiple spots. It's called
Yeah.
that for sure.
They call a hash brown a bobo, or they call the whole sandwich a
No,
bobo?
like the whole sandwich.
Sandwich,
Like
yeah.
if it's like a bacon, like egg and cheese, it's a bobo. If it's like a ham, egg and cheese or something, it'll be a hobo.
Oh, okay, I get that.
So they
I mean,
kind
I
of
don't,
like, I don't
but
know.
I do.
So a bobo salt, pepper, ketchup.
Yeah, can I get a boba hobo, please? Now I don't know. Do I want bacon or do I want ham? Probably, yeah. I'll still stick with bacon. So a bobo no
Not
cheese.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah, that's tempting. Bobo no cheese, no ketchup.
All right. All right. I feel like I have a couple. I feel like I have, if I'm like, all right, I need to be healthy for this breakfast. And if I, and the key thing, yeah, exactly. Where instead of bacon, egg, and cheese, it's literally boring as shit of like, all right, let me have what if it's like boar's head turkey, if I get that and egg and I'm like whole wheat toast or something from the deli, if I'm like, all right, I need to be healthy, which by the way, almost any boar's head cold cut on an egg sandwich is very good. It doesn't have to be bacon every time. Like any kind of turkey or something is delicious. Like I feel like people go like, what are you, a fucking asshole? You're getting this, but no, if it's boar's head, it's delicious. I don't know. I'm always torn between, and it's the fucking New Jersey thing, but bacon or sometimes Taylor ham, man, it hits the spot. Just the shitty, greasy, like fake whatever meat. It's sometimes delicious. And especially here it's usually a bagel and the bread does it for me. If the bread's shitty, the whole sandwich sucks.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely.
But
That's why I like it on a bagel from the Bagel Shop in Fishkill specifically.
Right. It's usually,
What, are they
and I
paying
almost,
Hashtag not a sponsor.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just the way I go. It's like that. I always tend to go Taylor ham because I feel like I make bacon home all the time. It always comes back to that for me. And a lot of places make the bacon too floppy. That's
See,
a
I
waste
love
of time
floppy
too.
bacon, man.
Wow,
That's
I
my
can't do it.
choice.
I can't do it.
It depends. I actually prefer floppy bacon as well, but half the time when it's floppy, it's just really greasy, and then I'm not a
No,
fan
yeah,
of it
that's
any longer.
absolutely right. That is absolutely correct. And that's
Yeah.
that's.
But I'm not a big crispy bacon guy.
What? I like have to like overcook it. I don't know. It's just the crunch. It's so fucking
I mean,
good.
Mike, you also just admitted you eat fried spam, so we're not going to judge your
Yeah.
food choice, your meat
This
choice.
is true.
But yes, I usually
yeah.
get this bacon and cheese on my way to the golf course when I use my ping clubs. And you can pick up a set of ping clubs at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Thanks, Joe Buck.
This I don't know. I hope they're paying you for that. That would be.
Also
Oh,
found
you-
at Golf Galaxy in New Jersey.
Golf Galaxy sounds like a really shitty mini golf place that's been condemned
It's
for
actually.
health
It's,
violations.
I'll argue it's just as good as the PGA Superstore like down here.
Wow, damn.
Yes, but the difference is I have a PGA Superstore gift card and not a Golf Galaxy gift
Right,
card. So
right.
PGA Superstore is much better.
But like I think whatever I was
You
looking
can go to
for,
pgasuperstore.com and you'll
whatever I was looking for, Golf Galaxy had like a better price.
find ping clubs.
Ping, the only name in golf clubs. Next,
Yes.
hot and cold sandwiches. Which are we doing
Yes.
first?
Let's start with cold.
Well,
just
after
'cause
I
feel-
drink
feel-
my nice cold White Claw, I'm usually looking for
someone sponsor the 20
Really
views we
need
get.
something to hit the spot.
I wish I had a sponsor just paying me like 50 cents for the segment.
Every time you said the name.
Every time. It would be this for 2 hours. every show. Yeah, let's start with cold because I feel not cold sandwiches are less adventurous, but I feel like it's kind of obvious. I feel like it's obvious what at least one of you is going to say.
You can be less creative with them.
That's true. But
Let's go reverse order. You go first, Mike.
all right. I guess again, depending on my mood, like I flop like if like usually an Italian combo, but it depends what's on it. Some places are boring and it's just like ham and salami, and they call it an Italian combo, even though there needs to be more to it.
That's about a third of an Italian combo.
Exactly. But I feel like it needs like I almost throw my own shit together. Like sometimes I'll do like I love Boar's Head blazing buffalo chicken and Genoa salami with provolone specifically.
Chicken.
Or if I'm, like I said, if it's an Italian combo, it needs like prosciutto, pepperoni, like salami, like all of that. It's like check all those boxes for me to bother. Like ham and salami, it sometimes just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, I would say most of the time, buffalo chicken, Genoa salami, specifically Genoa. Yeah, provolone, peppers, onions, lettuce, oil and vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably annoying when I go to a deli because I just continue to list things. I don't just say one thing.
I know that Dennis would be freaking out at me for my answer, but I've argued this before and always sided with Nick Payne. But a classic turkey sandwich is the perfect thing as a cold sandwich from the deli. I don't usually just go normal turkey. Sometimes I'll go like maple glazed honeycomb turkey or something like that.
Peppercorn turkey's solid too.
Switch it up, put some provolone on it as well. But I'll go that with some lettuce to spice it up a little bit, and ranch dressing is my go-to. I'll get it all on a sub.
That's fair.
I love. Hold
I
on.
was
Can I
gonna
say
Mike?
lettuce?
You have to say what bread you was on too, because that's
Ooh,
important.
that's right. Yeah, a hard roll or like a hero roll, like whatever. It depends on the place, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. What were you gonna say?
I said Alex saying spice it up with lettuce, just literal.
That's the joke there. Yep.
Hi, I'm White, and I'm from Minnesota.
I'm not from Minnesota. Thank you, though, Luch.
Oh yeah,
that's a compliment.
You're welcome. I think I stand by. That's okay, because I personally have been wronged by the Italian combo too many times that
I'm out on the Italian combo now.
I'm not adventurous enough to do it at places I don't know. So if they have it, which if they have Boar's Head, usually they will have it if it's like they have it in like, because I think sometimes they do it like regionally or something. There's a like Indian curry chicken.
Yes.
That shit is amazing. I'll get that on a sub with a little mayonnaise.
Oh, the
lettuce.
bold madrasala.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And onions. I don't even care what color they are. I'd prefer white. And maybe like a little bit of balsamic because it cuts that a little bit. But nice and crisp. Oh,
I'm glad you said white onion because I always prefer red. I think red's the better raw onion.
It is the better raw onion.
It depends on what I want out of the sandwich. Because if I don't want the flavor to be too sharp, then I'm not going to get red onions. But I mean, if I have balsamic in it, I'll probably get red onions. That's a good point. So yeah, we'll go red instead. Yeah. And then for the hot sandwich, anything with mozzarella and pesto that can be pressed. I don't care what the fucking meat is.
That's funny. I hate pesto.
That's totally okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
totally
actually
okay.
one of the reasons why
Alex,
I am gonna
have to ask you to go back into the lobby for this meeting, though.
That is one of the big reasons why I don't like the Rossi sandwich anymore, because I use an herb pesto now. I used to get herb mayo as the condiment, but all right, Luch, was that it? Just
anything with mozzarella and pesto, dude. Like, and right. I'll put onions, spinach, arugula on it. Maybe like a sliced skirt steak or something.
Nice. Now I'll try to bring this up because Rossi's used to have the best hot sandwich that I used to like to get, and now since I don't get it from there, I try to recreate it at other places, which is pretty easy. Most of them have all these ingredients. But chicken cutlet, prosciutto. I'll get fresh mozzarella. It has to be fresh mozzarella. It can't just be normal mozzarella cheese. Roasted red peppers makes this sandwich.
Okay, yeah.
Gotta get the roasted red peppers.
Gotta be on there too.
And then depending on where I go, I'll just kind of do some oil and vinegar usually now. Like I said, at Rossi, I used to get herb mayo. Sometimes I'll put ranch, but I don't really like ranch like heavy, like a lot of delis would put it on with the roasted red peppers. So
Yeah, it's
usually
weird if it tastes like curdled milk.
I'd go with oil and vinegar, and it has to be the bread. I mean, it could be on anything, but the best way to have it would be on pressed ciabatta bread.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that.
I'm a sucker for like paninis. Like I feel like
Me
if I'm at like a random diner, I'll
Fuck, I want a
drift
panini
toward
right now.
I'll drift toward that part of the menu usually if it's like some new place I haven't been to.
Yeah, Luch, I'll
But-
meet you at Redline.
Yeah, I'll see you. I'll
Well,
see you
the,
there.
the
dude.
best one. Damn it, I feel like my sandwich is so similar. to
No,
what you
wait.
said.
Before you bring up your sandwich, I wanna just note this because I know some people listening to this podcast may disagree. You do think Redline is the best diner, right? Because I agree.
Hang on,
Yes.
that's a lie. Some people do not listen to this podcast.
I know specifically one person who will probably disagree. There's
What's their answer going to be? Acropolis, like that? bullshit
there's
place?
some people that believe that Alexis Diner in Newburgh
No.
is the
No,
best.
No,
which
that place is. It used to be
It's called. Yep.
years ago. Yeah.
I agree. It used to be.
It used to be worth the drive over the bridge for. Now it's
Absolutely.
like if I could be coming home and it's like you could be like
you
say
pass
coming
by
home.
and my stomach turns sometimes when I look at it now.
I was forgetting who I was with, but we were at like Ice Time in Newburgh, probably watching. We were with Devin, because him and
Oh,
Nick,
yeah.
him and Nick were playing, so the four of us went, and I said, "Oh yeah, Alexis Diner. We don't have to cross the at that point we didn't have to cross back over because we were already going back." I'm like, yeah, Alexis, and I just went, and I was just like, son of a bitch, what happened? I'm so underwhelmed.
Now
There's
I
a
will
lot of
say
diners that got worse. Duchess Diner got way worse than it used
Duchess
to be.
Diner and
Duchess
Duchess
Diner.
Diner. Duchess Diner didn't have far to fall because I never thought they were anything super.
They weren't
special.
anything special.
Maybe it was because I was a young child and that
Yeah.
was the only diner I really knew because it was so close to my house.
I was the same thing with 84 Diner. We used to go there.
See, I
only
never
there
really
when I
liked
was a kid.
84 Diner.
Exactly.
They're owned by
As
the
I'm
same
an
people.
adult,
so-
I realized that place fucking blows.
Wait, them and Duchess are the same owners?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense. I never knew
Yep.
that. That makes
And
sense.
then Redline, Palace.
Yeah.
What's the one near Arlington?
Odyssey. Do
And
they own
that's
Odyssey?
I don't know. I
Route
don't.
9?
Daily Planet.
Ugh,
Daily Planet, and then what's
Table
that?
Talk. Table Talk closed.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I read that.
No, they
I
don't.
read that.
They do not own Odyssey. I think that's a separate.
Yeah.
Separate
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's in Wappingers, right?
Yeah.
That's the
They're
the
actually not
other
bad.
Greek family.
I've never been to that one. So.
It's not
It's
bad.
fine.
I've been there
Yeah.
for like breakfast. It's fine.
Hmm.
But
I'm literally
Alright.
looking at DoorDash for the Palace Diner right now to get a panini.
Oof. It's not a bad idea. I do have my leftover sandwich
Your
from
Marco Pollo.
from Tavern 23, and I also have half a meatball parm sandwich from Tomato Cafe, which is another good one. So, Mike, how about you go with your hot sandwich
I
choices?
know. I mean, I feel like it's going to be so similar to yours, but so yeah, it's like I do grilled chicken. It usually goes better because I do grilled chicken.
I don't blame you.
prosciutto. Grilled chicken, prosciutto, broccoli rabe.
Oh, I'm out on broccoli Rob.
But and then
Tom Roselli would find this hilarious. The broccoli
then-
Rob. You got food poisoning once from something that had broccoli Rob. You
Yikes.
can't eat it
How
anymore.
does that happen?
I don't know.
How do you get
Somebody
food?
fucking wiped their ass and started.
Yeah,
cooking
right.
it.
Like it's not like you ate like raw chicken or something. But broccoli rabe, yeah, fresh mutts has to be fresh mutts. Roasted red peppers, oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, a little onion, and again panini, ciabatta bread press.
Also, not to make this the bash Rossi's podcast, but just to bash Rossi's really quick.
Mhm.
The fresh mozzarella was just so thin, and it just
Ah.
didn't seem like that fresh. And then the chicken cutlet as well was really thin slices of chicken. It was just like
So
this.
they're finding ways to like skimp, but like
Well,
like,
I'm paying $16 for a sandwich. I
Holy
don't
shit.
want it. Yeah, that's another reason why
I
didn't
pay.
go.
So I mean I shouted out Rocco Roma and Goshen because they're the one place that, because I went in there one time and I ordered this because it's not on their menu. I just started listing crap that they have, and like the guy was like he was writing it down. He was like, "What's your name?" Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this on the menu. I'm like, "Yeah, man, do it."
Nice.
But
The Bruce
just like-
Capone.
sadly, it hasn't. It didn't make its way there. I don't
All
understand.
right, where is this place? What is it called?
It's Rocco Roma in Goshen.
Okay, next time I go there, I'll order the exact same thing. So like,
No, like, but they'll actually do it. And like, what do they? I forget what they charge. Like the price, like, should because they have like a make your own panini like part of like their menu. So I just took full advantage of that. They used to somehow that sandwich used to ring up for like they'd be like, yeah, $10. I'm like, what? Like, wait, I'm like, I was almost like, I'm like, I have prosciutto and broccoli raw. Like, this is like a $14
and fresh
sandwich.
mozzarella.
Right. Yeah. But I, mean, I think the last time I went, it was like 13 or 14. But
That makes more sense.
It's right, but it's worth it. But like the guy would be like, yeah, whatever, it's this. I'm like, okay. But in recently, it's been a little few, which again, I'm gladly willing to pay because it's just so good. I'll have to get it tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah, here we go. The Rocco Roma. They do have the Franco, which is breaded chicken cutlet, roasted peppers, fresh mozz, basil pesto, extra virgin olive oil, balsamic vinegar. That's pretty much something I would end up doing. Like I said, some prosciutto on that would be nice, but it's pretty
Yeah,
close.
like I said, you do whatever you want. Like, but there, yeah, no, that place specifically, especially that, like I tried that same sandwich from a different deli and it just didn't hit the spot. It wasn't the same. So like I have to go there. And honestly, even like when I'm home, like I haven't looked hard enough, but I haven't really found a place that does it that well. So it had like places are specific, man. That's why it's disappointing because I've heard a lot about Rossi's. I've never had the chance to go, but that's a shame that they're seemingly gone downhill.
Yeah.
But all right, I mean, I don't know. I feel like on the fly trying to come up with a food.
Hey, no, that
question.
was a good segment. Anyone
great,
listening
yeah.
to this, I know Joey will be giving his answers to the.
Yes.
These
This is
questions.
going to get too much. Like this is going to be a food podcast because we've went from oh yeah, what's one thing you'd eat to now we're spending 20 minutes listing 3 different things.
So if you were at a buffet,
oh, are we
what is
getting-
everything you would have available?
Here's
Are we-
the caveat: the bourbon chicken is empty.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
All right,
I
we'll
would
not, we'll
walk
not-
Chinese
out.
buffet
we'll not-
also has run out of those sugary bread things. Whatever you want to call them.
Mhm.
I was going to say bourbon chicken. No, we said a Chinese buffet. I'm not at the mall.
Hey, that one in Fishkill is actually still okay.
Yeah.
One.
Did they
I'm
outlasted
out-
Charlie
I'm-
Brown's?
I'm out on buffets pretty much in general. Like I just there's no point to me. I'd rather just for Chinese.
No,
I'd rather
I'm
just
no longer 17.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about the buffet though is at dinner they do have unlimited peel and eat shrimp, so
Oh.
that's something that I go heavy on.
That's not bad. I think the only time I've done a buffet in the last few years has been if it's like a good casino one. Makes all the difference, but
Oh, you mean like the one that the cover band of Africa?
oh my god. Oh man, we went for like brunch. And my
It
favorite
was
part
after Deej's
after
wedding.
Deej's wedding, and
at the Turning Stone.
my absolute favorite part about that is that I forget why Anthony didn't come with us, but then the first food item on the buffet was wings, and I lost it.
We're sitting there at this buffet, which was pretty good, but we're sitting there, and then you just hear in the background, we're like, this is before like people started doing the covers of Africa by Toto, but
Oh,
it was
God,
just some
when that
guy on like
started.
on a keyboard like doing this. We're like, is this Africa? And then like a year later, you started hearing all like
Yeah,
Green Day or whatever.
because Weezer did it or whatever.
Weezer, that's what it was.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a good one. That was a great weekend.
Yeah, it's a good time. All right, let's finish up this podcast and get this last segment or two
let's
in.
get our week 8. Is that what we're into now? I feel like I don't even know what week it is anymore. Week 8.
It is week 8.
All right, so let's quickly go through. So the bye weeks: the Cardinals, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the football team are on a bye this week. I guess let's get it started. The Not Stupid podcast game of the week: Bruce at 6-1 versus Phil at 5-2. For Bruce, DJ Chark on a bye, and Aaron Jones questionable, I guess. I mean, he might play, but
What did they say about
So-
that? I saw something on that today.
like I think he'll play, but it's one of those like they're clearly being cautious. Like if last week was a playoff game, he would have played. So clearly they're just gonna.
Yeah.
LaFleur said that they are still being careful with running back Aaron Jones' calf
Right.
and they're not going to take any risks with him as far as bringing him back too early. Sounds like he probably won't be practicing today, although it is just a walkthrough. That's what I heard.
Right, exactly. But then Phil, he has Kenyon Drake, who's hurt either way, but on a bye, and James Robinson on a bye, and Odell Beckham and Deebo Samuel out. So that sets him up in a rough spot. His starting running backs have to be Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift this week if he doesn't make a move.
Right.
Well, you put Robinson as his bye, but you are talking about James Robinson because also Allen Robinson is in the concussion protocol.
Oh, that's I did just read that like before. You're right. I didn't specify. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know, man. Chicago is just rough in general on offense. Like even Robinson's just been he's one of those guys.
As soon as Nick Foles' hot streak ended, that's really been he's fallen off too with that.
But I mean, I'll let you guys take it. I don't know what you guys are thinking about this week. Like, still have too many injuries, or
we're still talking about fantasy. I'm still trying to order the sandwich.
Yeah, I was looking at Phil's lineup, and it's going to be hard for him to put together a solid lineup to play unless he gets lucky with some people coming back from injuries. But I mean, it sounds like it's going to be like Ayuk. He might have to play Claypool even with Deontay Johnson available. You know, it's rough for him. It's definitely rough for him. And then he only has he's going to have to play Akers as well, who's done nothing.
Right. Yeah, he has to play Swift and Akers.
Well, Swift is good now. Swift is in every week starter.
Right.
But with Akers, yeah. So I'm gonna pick you, Mike, on this one.
All right.
Yeah, it's gotta be Mike, because Phil's got his roster is holding up so much right now it's got so much stress on it, I should say, from everything that's
from
transpiring.
So much stress from the manager of the team. You mean?
Oh. He's got a lot to navigate this week. And
he did say
weeks.
Fantasy is the worst today, so.
Oh no. Phil, it's okay. It's only a game. It's only a game. I don't know how to find the schedule.
The schedule of our league?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's easy. It's under schedule. When you're on the website, there's like the
there's a whole fucking button up here that says schedule. Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I'll just go fuck myself. On
the app, there's a button that says schedule. On the website, there's one on like the main league tab, not on like the My Fantasy League tab.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll cut this out and I'll just put a sound of a fucking donkey braying over me talking.
Oh, I wish you got to get the room soundboard back up.
After I pause, you must be kidding, aren't you? Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. What is the next matchup, or do we still want to talk about?
No, there's nothing. We don't need to cover that not stupid podcast game of the week. I don't think it really should be the game of the week, but by record, I guess
that was my logic.
Sure. Just I think I'm a little better at picking the game of the weeks that I like. I can't believe that, Bruce, you're not able to pick the ones that I like.
Well, what do you think should be the game of the week, and we'll do that.
Oh, I haven't decided yet.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
So Alex Sape at 3-4 plays Nick at 4-3. Tough week for Alex Sape. Chase Edmonds, David Johnson, and DeAndre Hopkins on a bye, and Nick with Will Fuller on a bye.
Will Fuller, who might get traded.
Yep. You heard about that?
Yeah,
I
did not.
Yeah, apparently the Packers are interested.
Well, that would immediately downgrade Fuller, no? Or maybe I guess maybe he'd be a wide receiver too, I guess, ahead of all those other guys.
Whatever Alan Lazard was doing is what Will Fuller could do. But I don't think it really changes Fuller that much because he's just going to get hurt anyway, so it doesn't really.
Oh no.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh God. I don't know, man. I still think even with the buys, I think you have it, Sabe.
Thanks. I do have Meh on my team now.
You have Meh. You have MEH.
And
so he'll get you 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
There's a chance that Joe Mixon plays. I don't really know if that's going to happen, but if he doesn't, I do have JaMychal Hasty,
Yeah,
which
which
isn't
something.
the worst. Yeah, so I'm a little worried about this one, but it is. I still think it's close because Nick's team underperforming, and even with the buys, I still have enough players. Like there's some weird guys that will have to go in. Maybe Josh Reynolds, but he did just have a nice game. Is a possibility for me. But I did pick against myself 2 weeks or 3 and 2 weeks ago, and I lost both those. And then when I picked myself last week, I won. So I'm gonna pick myself here to beat Nick.
It's definitely close. I mean, I think even with Nick with some injuries and Will Fuller on a bye, he does kind of gain. Rashard Higgins, his value kind of ticks up a little bit with Beckham out.
What difference does that even make, honestly?
Not much.
It's just, it's just another guy that, if Nick's gonna like overthink it and maybe like plug and play like a boom guy, because Cooper, does Cooper have a poor game just based on the quarterback?
Possible. Cooper's
right.
probably the only one that could still do something on that team.
And I think Cooper Kupp, all things considered, considering where he was drafted and redraft, has been, he's underwhelming.
Yeah.
And then same Jerry Jeudy. Who is he going to start as his? And he's going to have to start 4 receivers. I'm assuming Gurley, Kamara. Like no one else worth starting. So his 4 receivers. You're looking at Cooper, and then Kupp, and then Golden Tate this week.
Against Tampa, I don't know.
Right, but then you're looking at, I guess you start Jerry Jeudy or
maybe if you didn't
Rashard
have
Higgins,
3 fucking receivers that aren't on teams right now.
Well,
he has 3.
Corey Coleman,
Marquise Lee, who is basically
Marquise
not on
Lee
a team.
is right, and
is Funchess on the practice squad? I thought they cut him.
He held out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So, but that's what it is. Like he's gonna, and then his tight end is just a mess. What
do you mean? Cole Kmet just had a nice game with 2 catches and 45 yards and a back injury.
Oof.
Well, there you go. He's questionable. The only one not with an injury designation is Cameron Brate.
Yes, one catch in big win. That's what the news says for him.
I just think, if Nick gets boom guys, he could win. But I think, Alex has more depth. This is what we say. You need depth. Yeah, I think you win.
It's not it's not happening for Nick. I don't think.
Even
Good
even
job,
with
man.
the bye, like there's still this.
All right, let me go into the website as the commissioner and give myself the win now.
Oh, all right. Well, give me the win too while you're in there.
Yep, I got it. Luch, do you want to win?
No.
Sorry, dog.
I don't want to win. I need a win.
All right, moving on to the next matchup here. We do have, coming off the big 182-point week, Alex Hochberg with no notable players on bye, and most likely Michael Thomas is out, his new acquisition, playing against Kyle, who also has no one notable on bye, apparently.
Let's see. Yeah, no one notable. It's all bullshit.
He does have Chris Carson, who's probably going to be out, or at least limited.
I did catch that, but yeah, this one's tough, man. This is. Let me just take a look. I feel like I never.
You heard the sound for Kyle's team?
Oh, hi! Welcome to my page. I'm Coach Dan. Have fun looking at my team.
Luch, if you go to Kyle's page, it'll get picked up in the podcast.
I just did, yeah. Have fun looking at my team. I really like how he couldn't pick a better picture than him with a fucking coffee in his mouth. Oh man, that's good.
God.
Kyle, sorry, Peanut.
I
Kyle wins off that.
Oh man, I never go to the actual website. I'm always just on the phone. I never hear these
There's
things.
one other person that has one. It might be Phil.
It's Phil, because Phil's always ruins my recordings when I open his page.
What is this?
Oh my god. All right. I think Kyle might it's close. I might have to give Kyle the edge just because now Alex is down CEH and he's not going to have the guy he just traded for.
Yeah, but Jamal Williams.
If Aaron Jones is out, like that.
Boston Scott's a good start this week too. A very good start.
So yeah, that's true. Against Dallas too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone against Dallas.
DJ Dallas possibly. He's got some options.
There's options, but no, the Steelers play Baltimore. That probably rules out. That probably drops Connor a bit. And then, but I mean, Kareem Hunt's always like there, for, and then, well, I mean, T. Higgins is a great start at this every week.
This is honestly a total toss up for me.
He can put Sterling Shepard in over James Washington this week. I mean, I know it's against Tampa, but I think James Washington's just not a good option at this point, even for him. I'm going to say Kyle. I think too many big injuries and missing pieces for Alex this week. I'm going to go Kyle.
I kind of no. I'm going to stick. I think Peanut ekes out the win here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Alex.
It's close. It's so close.
It is really close, but yeah, I'm gonna go Alex. With no Chris Godwin, Gronk should be involved against the Antonio Brown's not there. Just Aguilar is just I'm gonna go Alex. It's gonna I wouldn't be surprised either way though. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's. I think we're calling it for Alex.
All right, so Alex Hochberg. So that would bring him to 4-4, and Kyle drops to 3-5. Let's move it on. Dennis at 5-2, face off against Skylar at 0-7. Dennis though, Kyler Murray on a bye, but he'll have Tom Brady to throw in his place against the Giants.
It doesn't matter. Just give Dennis the win.
No, hold on.
You don't want to talk about it?
Not really.
I don't know, man. You did this last week with me and Anthony, and it was like the closest game of the week.
You did still win, though.
I did.
Was I wrong with my prediction? Because I don't think I was.
Not wrong. All right. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think Dennis is winning, but it's just a matter of, do we want to discuss it?
You never know. Tua's coming to town, boys.
I mean, Dennis.
Mike's struggling here. I'm watching him.
Christ. God damn it! Everyone watches me do this every.
He's trying to the predicted standings. Just this is his weak part of.
I know because I can't. I never do it. I never do it quick enough because I went to delete that. Jesus.
Yeah. Lucio, you're going with Mike over Skylar. Or do you have a
Mike? Dennis.
Dennis, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Dennis.
I mean,
I mean, Skylar has a lot of potential.
It's gotta
this week.
be Denny.
Look, Skylar scored 150 against me, so like it's not like insane. Like the ability's there. It's just
the possibilities are there.
Right.
Slayton and Anderson could easily have big games. If John Brown is out again, Colby's a decent third out.
Oh wait, no, it's Dennis. I was thinking Mike. I was like, ooh, the Robbie Anderson revenge game.
No, we got to wait for that one. That's a legitimate revenge game too, because he's actually doing really well. I mean, Ebron versus who the fuck does that say? Kelsey. Oh, right, yeah. I keep switching to my Grubhub tab.
Just go pick it up. Grubhub's overpriced.
No, you put the online order.
You gotta have the DoorDash subscription.
The Dash Pass.
So you don't pay an extra $25.
I did have that for a month, and it's well worth it if you order enough food.
I don't, unfortunately. Anyway, you got. I mean, if Justin Jackson can actually secure some work, there's something there. Otherwise, yeah.
Right. You're right. You're just listing all the bullshit that might happen, but it's not.
It's too much in terms of possibilities to overcome. I think for Skylar, like I'm saying it's possible, but not likely.
Well, anything is possible.
Oh, okay.
It's Dennis.
It's Dennis, yes.
All right, Dennis wins. He moves to 6-2, and Skylar to 0-8.
A strong showing from Skylar this year.
All things
Oh,
he's
wow, I
the
just
best. It's
noticed-
the best 0-8 team possible.
I just noticed Joey's Washington football team roster.
Oh yes. Moving on to the next matchup. Lucho at 2-5 plays Joey at 6-1. Lucho no buys, but probably Miles Sanders out. But Joey, Gardner Minshew, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas, and Christian Kirk all on a bye.
Thank
Oof.
fucking God, man.
So if
I'm
there's a
picking the
week,
upset. I'm picking the upset.
I think I have to, man. Like I know Joey's team is so solid, but then there's the like he's already down all these guys, but then there's the if McCaffrey does come back, I don't think either one of those are a viable starting option. Like I think
Well,
if,
you could still when McCaffrey comes back, you can still put McCaffrey in. He's just
no,
not
you
normal.
right, like you put McCaffrey in, but I mean even this week on a Thursday, like I don't think he plays. It's just I think maybe he would have played if the game's on a Sunday.
I mean, he could hedge and play both of them.
That's so. I mean,
Well,
if there's no other option, maybe that's
when you have
tough.
so many guys on bye, it's just like,
You start.
Oh,
I mean,
great.
honestly, you could start both of them in Darrell Henderson.
oh man, yeah. And Sam Darnold against the Chiefs.
Right. Yeah, right. His quarterbacks have to be Darnold and Wilson. I mean, there's always the Russell Wilson factor. He could always put up, 40.
Yeah.
But it is tough. But I don't know. Now I'm looking at his roster now.
He's got a lot of. I don't know, dude. His tight ends. He's got a lot of possibilities with those two. It's kind of like a roulette wheel. Of
I mean,
who scores a touchdown.
Micus.
I
do
think
you
you
trust
probably
Gesicki
play
every
Trey
week?
Burton.
Yeah, I think you go Burton too. I don't think you go
Yeah.
Gesicki
No, the goose egg last week.
or Donald Parham.
He had a touchdown, better
Yeah.
than Hunter Henry last week.
Yeah, I think he probably goes Trey Burton just based on how Burton's been playing the past few weeks before the bye.
Really, you say like Kenny Galladay, Corey Davis versus the Bengals, which, I mean, that could go either way. The Bengals did just trade. Who'd they trade? Dunlap.
Yep.
So that's going to be an even
I mean, you could.
easier pass.
Do you
to get.
think you could?
I mean, without Terry and the upside Christian Kirk play, I don't like how his team looks this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
Luch, there you go. Congrats on
for
the
you,
prediction
if
win.
You need the Cam bounce back, and I guess you got to go Wentz against Dallas.
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, not necessarily.
I mean, Philip Rivers though. I mean, he's. What is Dalton out? Is he officially out yet?
He
No.
hasn't progressed at all through the concussion.
I
protocol, so
can't imagine
he's gonna be
plays,
out.
so- Right.
No.
All right.
He's
So
gonna
that's out.
be
So
out.
then, so it's Wentz, and I guess. Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Cam and Philip Rivers is your toss-up. I think Wentz is a definite play.
I disagree. I think Wentz and Rivers are kind of a toss-up because of the pace of play of
If it's a blowout, that makes sense.
Yeah, the pace of play of Dallas being horrendous and now playing slower versus Rivers and the Lions, which the Lions are kind of a slow, and Indy are slow teams too, but they're competent.
True. And then, I mean, yeah, your receiver. I mean, you have to start Mike Evans even against the Giants. It's such
Every time I want to bench him, he keeps pulling me back
I know.
in.
And then Woods, DJ Moore, maybe Scotty Miller this week if John Brown's out. I know
it's
Brandon
iffy.
Cooks.
I don't
but
think
Cooks on
there's a
the
lot
bye.
of scoring in that game either. Potentially,
I did miss Brandon. Could I say Brandon Cooks on the bye? I might have missed
Luch, are you gonna start Ryan Izzo again?
Yeah, absolutely.
You didn't drop him yet. That's weird.
No, I gotta
Luch, I
keep him
did
just in
notice
case
that
the
you
break
have
time
over
happens.
$200 in Fab money.
Oh, I'm waiting to blow it on one key player, who will remain nameless.
Gotcha.
Everybody's gonna have to stay tuned to find out.
That's like
Yeah,
Dennis.
no,
too. I think Dennis
I'm-
is over 200.
I'm gonna go with the upset as well. I think it's Lucha this week. I think it's too much for Joey to overcome.
Thanks, guys. Well, locking it in. Prediction for me. I think I'm gonna get pasted. But that's 2-1.
First,
So Lucho wins. He goes a big time 3-5.
Yeah, Bruce, you're gonna edit the stand.
No, I'm doing it. Hang on a sec. All right, sorry, I just had to add somebody while I'm sitting on the page.
There you go. Hey.
This is gonna
Oh,
sound
Bruce,
so bad.
you added Adam Shaheen.
I did.
Okay.
All right then.
Just because we were talking about it. All right, and finally, what else could be the Bins Game of the Week presented by? I guess we can't say Fournette. God damn it! I wrote presented by Fournette, but presented by Josh Jacobs, just because you needed somebody to say
Presented by
It
Josh J.J. Jacobs, J.R.J.J. Jr.
Yep, there you go. That works.
It's Tom at 3-4 against Anthony, who is 1-6. This is tough. Anthony, Deshaun Watson, Emo Benjamin, and Keelan Cole on a bye, and Tom has Cobb and Chenault on a bye.
Not having Watson's a killer.
Yeah, I don't see him overcoming that. I mean, does he even have a super flex?
Nope.
So then there you go. So it's
far, and that's it.
You hope Baltimore runs out to a huge lead.
It's Pittsburgh. I'm not even that confident in Jackson, period, this week against Pittsburgh. He always struggles against them. But
Pittsburgh's even better this year than usual.
Right. And on a Lamar Jackson, I get down for him fantasy year. But I don't think Anthony has enough. I think
I mean, if Mixon's out again, Giovanni Bernard.
True, but and then do you think is P Ryan going to have the same role? I'd imagine.
I think so. Yeah.
Anthony probably wants 2 firsts for P Ryan based on values.
Guys, my order is on the way.
Oh, he did it. What'd you get?
Chicken pepper pesto panini.
Nice.
Good choice.
Yeah. So
you did what? Palace.
Yeah.
Anthony has a pretty.
Which one? I'm sorry. I'm forgetting which
Maris?
diner. Which diner has no? I'm forgetting which one is. Do they have the Red Fox wrap or is that Red Line?
Yes, Red Fox wrap.
A bunch
And
of them.
Red Line
has
Red Line has the Roadster wrap, which is the exact same wrap.
That's it. Okay, I was forgetting the names. It's been a while. All right. Anyway, all right. Back to Tom. But so I guess his running backs is Dalvin Cook back this week?
Yes, he's supposed to be back.
Are you confident starting Bell yet?
Against the Jets? Yes.
Do you think he? I mean, I know he had 6 carries in a blowout. But
against the Jets.
Oh yeah, he's gonna say, I want to kick Adam Gase's shit in today.
Yeah. I guess I gotta go with Tom, even though he's not gonna have Chris Godwin.
But his receiver, but he can still start Adams and Boyd, and I think just that is good enough. I mean, you hate starting Marvin Jones, but I think he's fine. If he really needs to stretch, you could start Valdez-Scantling.
Oh, the revenge game against Anthony's team.
That's right. Gonna kill it. And then I guess Noah Fant, or Tyler Croft. I mean,
Noah Fant, you can't play Noah Fant.
No, I know, but I mean, out of the other 3, I might start Tyler Croft depending on what those other tight ends are doing.
I mean, I was gonna say Jared Cook if Sanders, Thomas are both out, and if Callaway's out.
Yeah, but even last week with those injuries, he had a touchdown.
Yeah, but Callaway had 10. Callaway had 10 targets, so if he's gone too.
Oh, that's true. So it's gonna be Kamara with 35 targets, and that's it. But I don't know. It's splitting hairs. Tom gets the win.
Yeah, I think it could be actually somewhat close. I wouldn't be surprised if it's close, but yeah, I can't give a win to Anthony. Sorry, Ant.
You can't give a win to the Scalzo and feel comfortable.
Tom wins.
All right.
So there's the standings. Let's see. I mean, obviously, I can't put them in order of projected points, of course, but so I'll just put them in standing order.
Sure. Not many changes to the
No, it's pretty
6.
similar. No, yeah.
Wow, not many changes at all.
Nope.
Besides
I
Lucho.
think I drop a spot, right?
No, we gave you a win. You move up a spot.
Oh.
I mean, technically, just based on like this, I mean, I guess you could flip.
Lucho has more. Will have way more points scored.
No, I know. Honestly, I'll leave you. I mean, I'll just say I'll leave you in 7th. This sheet's irrelevant. So after week 8, the projected standings are.
Oh, just kidding. Lucho only has 3 more points scored than Kyle right now.
Really?
Yep.
That's quite a lot.
So if our predictions are correct, the standings after week 8 will look as me in first place by myself for the first time all year at 7-1. In second, even with a loss, still Dog at 6-2. And third, Dennis at 6-2. In fourth,
no. Dennis. Oh wait, I thought Dennis had more points scored than Dog, but he has less than 1 point scored more.
wow,
Oof.
so it's that close.
But I would think that Dennis scores more points just based on the amount of players that Joey has on bye.
No,
But
right. That's why it's like tough to actually.
it'll be a toss up there between those two for that
Right.
second bye spot.
Where are we at? Oh yeah, I fucked up Nick's thing. Nick should be 4-4. That's my fuck up.
Oh my god, bro! No, he shouldn't.
What am I
He should
doing?
be 5-3.
He
He's
was
5-2 right now.
Nick? Wait,
Yeah,
Nick's.
He's
What?
5-2.
Oh, then I read it wrong. So he's 5-3. I got it right.
Yeah.
All right. So Nick in 4th at 5-3. Phil in 5th at 5-3. Sape hanging on in 6th at 4-4. Tom improves to 4-4, up in 7th. Alex Hochberg 4-4. This league's close, man. Kyle 3-5 and 9. I have Lucho in 10th, even though in reality I know the potential points will be higher, but I have you at 3-5 in 10th place. Skylar 0-8 in 11th. Anthony 1-7 in last. Just assuming, sort of the potential points. Obviously, we'll have a clearer picture next week, of course.
Why are you
71.
keeping it on 71?
Why not 70?
Why not the funny sex number?
Because I did that in the hospital room.
That's like the dentist working at Enterprise would just change the temperature of all the cars that should come back.
And I'd probably do the same.
All right, well, there you have it. There's our new week 8 or post week 8. Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh. Some
What?
technical difficulties.
Who?
I think it was me, but now Lucha
Uh-oh.
doesn't have video.
I don't?
I see him. No, I see him.
I guess it's just me. Huh, weird.
I'm here.
We're all.
Hi,
Yeah, I
buddy.
see everybody. I guess one final thing. I don't know. Does anyone have any last thoughts on the week, on whatever?
Nope. Good luck to everyone.
Hmm.
I hate you all. I hope you all do terrible.
I don't have much of anything, yeah.
Everyone's players. I guess one last thing I wanted to touch on. Are there any players you're worried about for fantasy as we progress?
Oh,
Closer to
yeah,
the
we were
playoffs.
supposed to think of this while we were recording.
Yeah.
That's
like I said, I pretty much came up with this segment because I guess I'm worried about Ezekiel Elliott's production going forward. He's a guy that he's too talented to bench, but doesn't get to the point where you kind of have to swallow that tough pill and put him on the bench, because if he's just not producing, and the last 2 weeks have been brutal for him, does that trend continue ever to the point where you may have to bench him, and any other players you can kind of put in that category? Maybe, I don't think anybody as potentially talented as him, but I mean, there's got to be a handful of players. I know we said Mike Evans maybe, but is anyone else that kind of falls into this category of super talented but just not doing it for fantasy?
Not particularly that I can think of. I think it's hard to overreact.
True. Like, I don't know, like, I guess my only other one, I feel like DJ Chark falls into that category. I think maybe.
Yeah, something's going on, and I don't know.
I just think
Maybe he's hurt,
it's
and we just
I just
don't
think
know
it's
about
Jack.
it.
But he had 14 targets a week. Not in week 6, he had 14 targets, and that dropped dramatically. I just
Yeah.
think the quarterback. I know they're talking about benching Minshew, which makes no sense because
That's
Mike
stupid.
Glennon. I don't.
What's his name? Luton? Jake Luton?
Jake Luton, yeah.
it's just weird that team sucks. But it's just one of those weird like, is there anybody that you go, ugh, do I have to bench this guy? Like it's just
It sucks because we're already there with all the Patriots players. You really can't play any of them right now, and you don't know when that's ever going to change.
Right.
I made the trade of Michael Thomas. I'm a little worried about Michael Thomas. I mean, I just don't know what's going on, especially just getting hurt again after he's supposed to come back. It's just players like that, the players that are getting hurt constantly. Chris Godwin now is his third injury. Like there's just something with like this year makes me worried that these players just aren't going to be 100% for the full year.
But I think we're past that early part of all the we had all the initial like hamstring pulls.
Yes,
I feel like we're way past that.
I mean the players that are still getting hurt. Not the majority.
Mm-hmm.
Just I'm not talking about new players getting injuries really. I just mean like the players that are currently hurt and been getting multiple injuries. That just seems like they're not over it specifically.
Right.
So I mean, like I said, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin.
Well, I mean,
like
hey, if you guys listening have anything, leave a comment. I mean, if you've come this far, make your presence known. If you have anything, and if you have fan mail, send it. Because we always look forward to reading it on this show.
Ooh, I do have a hype piece right now. Matt Nagy on running back Lamar Miller, who is on the Bears practice squad. I think that Lamar is looking better and better each day. I do think he's getting close.
Oh boy!
Okay. Oh wow!
You won't fool me again, Lamar Miller. I'm too smart this time. All right. So
Also, just to let you know, bad weather expected for the Bills-Patriots game in Buffalo, New York on Sunday.
Impossible.
Shocker.
Buffalo is always gorgeous.
So wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those run-heavy games.
Mm-hmm.
So Singletary will have 25 carries for 40 yards.
Too bad Cam and Allen aren't running quarterbacks.
They're not running quarterbacks. You are correct. They're especially Cam, man. He just drops back and passes the ball all the time.
Cam's a standing quarterback.
Yeah, did you not watch that game?
I didn't watch any games. What sport is this?
Oh man, what am I doing here?
This is not my beautiful podcast. This is not my beautiful team.
Bruce Arians. Antonio Brown bitches about touches. We're going to have a problem.
I love it when a coach uses the word bitches like he's cool. All right, so to close this out, I have decided to overlay my favorite football-related GIF, or GIF if you're wrong, and I will put it over the recording as we say. No, I mean like the creator said it's GIF, so anybody who says GIF is wrong, but it's fine.
I actually do have one other thing to mention too. I don't know if this is ruining your segment of your GIF that you're putting up.
No, it's okay.
But
let me go ahead and take it off.
There was a score change or a stat correction where a Bears sack ended up turning into a Jared Goff rushing attempt, so you lost points for the Chicago defense. And there was a person who won $1 million on FanDuel or DraftKings, and because of that, they ended up only winning $3,000.
Wow,
man!
Oh my god!
Yeah, I read about that. That's brutal. I would
I can't fathom what I would do. I really might kill myself.
Was it an overnight correction, or was it like at least like within
it says it was pretty quickly, because it says that he texted with friends and called his parents to share the exciting news and took his dog Achilles for a quick walk. When he returned, he wanted to refresh his computer screen again just to see myself on top, he said, and then boom.
Oh my god.
Also a dog named Achilles. This is Tom Kalnacki. Jesus.
Oh, that 3-yard. Oh no, he had Jared Goff, so it turned into, instead of a sack, so no lost points for Goff, it's a 3-yard loss. So that 3-yard loss dropped this guy into a tie for 6th place with 18 other entries.
Holy shit.
Did it say what the buy-in was? Like at this point, like you're just trying to go, all right, yeah, 3,000. This is great.
Isn't there just the one weekly $1 million contest? So it'd be probably $25.
Yeah, it's the Millie Maker.
I mean, all right. So
you still got $3,000. That's nice, but like
I know, but it's me. It's me justifying it.
All of that is going to go into therapy.
But like that's why I said, I'm like, was it at least instant? Because like if it switched in like a half hour, I might be more okay than if it's like you wake up the next morning and your money's gone.
Oh, he said that he lost out on $5,000 previously due to a stat correction.
Oh,
Oh my god, I would like
just quit. Just quit, dude.
yeah.
The gods are not on your side.
I wanted to hear the story about the guy that won the $1 million then.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That's like more impressive. Like you, holy shit! Like what? Yeah, it's just
Like
those contests. Those
you get
contests are the
upset.
worst.
You get upset because you're so close, but you won three grand. You're still pretty happy. You just close the
Yeah.
app, whatever. You wake up in the morning and all of a sudden there's $1 million.
Oh my god! He would have had to pay taxes anyway. Whatever. It's not worth it. He only would have ended up with like 600,000.
No, didn't you see? Sometimes people don't have to pay a lot of taxes. Like
It's part of my religion.
Like me, your president.
China.
China. I paid all the taxes to China. They never given it back to me. All right, I'm going back to the GIF.
GIF, but okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us this week. Hopefully Dennis is back next week. I realize very quickly I suck at this hosting thing.
That's okay.
I mean,
All right.
the same information's here, just delivered in a more shitty way.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.